Hello there. So, my name is Brandon Dean. And I'm going to make a video for um, a series of dreams that I've had within the last, I don't know, three, probably 3 years. Um, and then the one that I had recently, which was about 3 or 4 days ago. Um, that's mainly the one that I'm trying to highlight, and it should be to help somebody to miss some of the goofiness that I've done and made me miss some of the blessings that the Lord has had for me and my wife and for my family. So it's not going to be a long video. I haven't made a video in probably 2 or 3 years. So let me just get started. So I've had these dreams. I'm going to explain about 3 dreams I've had. Probably the first one was probably 3 years ago. I should have. Let's see what the date was. But the first one was 3 years ago. So the dream that I had was I had this dream that I was at this place. It was me and my wife, and we were walking outside, and it seemed like we were in a field. And in this field, we were looking at some trees, and the trees were producing fruit, but they were very new, very um, eh, just budding really. It looked like some were strawberries, but they were green completely. Some were apples, but they were really small. Bananas, but they were really green and small. So, and I'm going to be looking down because I have some notes here, so it'll help me to stay on track. And we're going to try and do this fast within 10 or 15 minutes. So, anywho, yeah, so that was what the first dream was just that we walked out and we knew that these trees were ours. And we were like, wow, there was a lot of them. So, my next dream I had, this was probably a year ago. And in this dream, it was again my wife and I, and we were in a field again, but this time the fruit were far more closer to being ripened. And I mean, like they were right there, but they still quite wasn't there. And like some of the trees had fully ripened fruit, or they looked ripe, but they weren't fully ripened. Then other fruits on that same tree would be green, but they were turning the right colors. So they were definitely getting there. And in the dream, we were like, man, these are almost ripe. And we both are looking at the tree, the trees and all the fruits on all the trees. And it was probably, I don't know, 10 trees. Five, it was more than five. It was probably like 10 to, I feel like 15 is too many, something around there. So the last dream I just had. The dream that I just had about 3 or 4 days ago. In this dream, and this is the one that I want to highlight. It's the main one that I'm trying to communicate. So in this dream, my wife and I were at my old house, house that I grew up in when I was a kid. But we weren't really paying attention to outside. My wife was cleaning up the house, and I had looked outside just, by happenstance, and I had seen trees out there with fruit in front of our house. And I was like, oh, wow, this fruit looked really done. And then I was looking and then it like came to me that they were our fruits. that they were our trees. And I said, wow, these look really done. And I go downstairs and I try and tell her, hey, come downstairs to see these fruits. And she's so, focused on cleaning up the house, cleaning up the house, cleaning up the house. And hey, babe, come and look at these fruits. So I go outside, she's cleaning up. I go outside and I look at the fruit and I'm like, these things are completely ripened. And then as I start looking, I'm like, wow, it's a whole lot of trees, like 10 to 15 trees. It's watermelon trees, uh, papaya trees, just different kind of fruits. You know what I'm saying? So I'm walking around and I'm going checking all these different fruit trees. But when I looked at them, I'm like, these are really ripe. It was watermelon in trees, and watermelons don't grow in trees, by the way. So, uh, but anywho, so we were looking at these trees, and I'm looking at these trees, and I'm like, man, these are really something. So I end up somehow it was a machete right there where I needed one. I grabbed a branch, pull it down, and I hit it with the machete and knock it down, and I knocked down the fruit on it. The fruits now, some of the trees, the fruits have been falling off them because, like I said, they were extremely ripened. But then, as I paid attention and I cut one open to look at it, it was over ripened. Not only was it over ripened, but I was when I tasted it, it was like it was still good, but it was like the sweetness that it originally had, that it needs to go to the market, that was gone. It was too ripened, and I was like, what the heck? We needed to get these to the market. And then I said in the dream, I was like, I knew it. I knew we should have been took these to the market. And so I'm going around these trees. I'm trying to see if there's any trees that have any ripened fruit, like perfectly ripened fruit. No, but every one of them were overripened, overripened, overripened. I'm checking this watermelon tree. I'm checking this papaya tree. I'm checking whatever this tree is. I don't know, maybe some apples or something. And they're all overripened. And I was upset. So I tell my wife, and she comes outside. Finally, she stops cleaning. She comes outside, and I tell her, these trees are overripened. I told you should have went to the market. I told you we should have went to the market, not her. We should have went to the market. We should have went to them. I told you that. And she was like, well, I had to make sure the house was clean. I'm like, babe, I get that, but our fruit has been ripened. Now it's overripened. And she's like, she's trying them herself. And I'm really upset. Checking them out, checking them out, checking them out. And then I go and see this one, and I see this one tree, and it's a short tree. So this tree was okay. So the fruit that it produced was like a blizzard, like from Dairy Queen or something. It was like a blizzard. It was a really short tree. It wasn't a bush. It was a tree, but it was definitely the size of a bush. It was like maybe a height or something. But it was a tree, but it produced blizzards. And I was like, what in the world kind of fruit is this? So I take that off. I take a bite of one of the blizzards, and it was delicious. I said, oh, we can take this to the market. I'm like, holy crap. So, but the rest of the trees, I knew they were overripened. And I got upset, and my wife was like, and I was telling her, like, babe, I said that we should have been gone to the market. And then I said, well, I noticed that there was another small tree, and it was one with the watermelon seed. So this is what happened. I looked at that tree, and I seen that there was a whole bunch of seeds and pods, like pods of seeds. Watermelons don't develop like this, but this is how it happened in the dream. A bunch of pods of seeds on this tree. So in the midst of me talking to my wife, saying, "Babe, I told you we should have gone to the market. We should have been checked these and then taken them to the market. I told you that." And then when I look back at the tree, it had grown quite a bit, and more of those pods have grown, and the pods of seeds have matured really quick. So I was like, wow, those matured really fast. So I was like, okay, well, we'll be able to get this. And I noticed that there were other trees that were smaller that had seeds, and they were regrowing the fruit again. So I said, all right. I was looking around, and I was like, well, whenever these things, go back in for the next season, we sure gonna be rich. You know what I'm saying? But I said, I guess we'll wait till the next season. And I was just upset. And that's how the dream ended. So my wife and I have a business. We have a small business, and we're trying to grow our business. And we walk by faith in the Lord. So we don't really do anything concerning finances outside of the Lord telling us what to do. So this is what He's told us to do. And He's given us promises about, He's going to bless us. And, walking by faith is not walking this way, leaving our businesses, our wife used to work at the IRS. I used to work for FedEx, or just different jobs. We've had different jobs, and we've been blessed to make decent money at these places. And we walked away from these things at the Lord directing us to do these things and to put our trust into the business that He gave us. And He gave us, things to do, And in the midst of doing this, He's told me many times that I'm going to bless you, but you have to be where I tell you to be at the times. And we had a situation happen to us recently where for a long time I was building everything for the business. The business belongs to my wife. God has called me to ministry, so that's really where a lot of my focus is. But I need to pay bills, so we I work on stuff with our business. I may do some side little hustles, to pay bills as well, but nothing illegal, don't worry. But so when he moved, so I do a lot of studying and researching for stuff, and I started studying research for markets and, the business that we have, the product we make. I started researching markets and how to get it into stores and how to grow it. And I've been doing this for a while, but then the Lord moved me to move out of that and to start working on the stuff for our household to bring in finance. And then He moved her out of her job and moved her to working in the household. And I know it's difficult saying that, or to hear that. Like he had a season for me and my wife where she was working and I wasn't working he called me out of my job first, but I was building our business and our product and all this stuff. So then when it's gotten built and we have a lot of product now, when I got finished with all this, not finished, but had a lot of product. We have a lot of product now. He moved me out of doing this and moved my wife into it. So she does it a lot slower than me because she's more focused on making sure everything in the house is okay. Whereas I bring in the money, for our finances. And but in the midst of doing that, I was in the process of going into stores and getting our product in the stores. So then when I started to do this, I started to tell my wife, hey, I think you should. I've written down everything. Hey, you should probably start doing these same things. And she did it, but she was just a little slower. So she did actually get some of our product into some stores. You know what I'm saying? But just probably not as much as needed to be. And the Lord, I had another dream that went with this one, but it was about us missing the timing that the Lord had for us right now. Because we didn't continue doing what I was saying to do back at that time. And I'm not to do what we were needing to do. Let me say that. Not, because it's all on me for sure. Because I should have just made sure this stuff was happening, So, and I'm pretty relaxed about things, So that's probably what it was. But when God calls us to do things, we really, if we are not in the right place at the right time, we really can miss out on the opportunities and the blessings He has for us. He's told me that He's going to bring these things back to us, and He's going to bring these opportunities. Because I had another dream that not a dream. When I woke up from that dream, I had a vision right after that, that my wife had checked actually one of the trees. I told her to check one of the trees, and she had checked it, and it had produced fruit, and she actually took this to the market. And then when she went to the market, or she took it to the market. So I know that was representing that, we have some of our products in stores, just not as many as we should, you know. Um, and I mean this. Not, I'm not saying that we when I was going to stores, I had started. I was getting rejected up a storm, So that's part of it. You know what I'm saying? But you got to be in these places, and God will make something. He'll make a way out of just you putting the effort forward to get the blessings that He has for us. A lot of times we think that we are going to walk right into what God has for us, and sometimes we can miss out on what the Lord may have for you. It reminded me, in the scripture this situation was reminding me of, is when in the book of Numbers, when the Lord had, in Numbers 13:14, the Lord had told them, I have this land for you. And then He told Joshua and Caleb and the other 10 spies to go and search out the land. And when they went and searched out the land, it was a land full of milk and honey and giant fruits. But there was obstacles in front of them, you know what I'm saying, that looked really difficult. But Joshua and Caleb were the only two that gave a good report. And the rest of the people are like, no, we can't do that. Because there's these, I remember they said, and there we saw the giants, the sons of Anak, which come of the giants, and we were in our own sight as grasshoppers, and so we were in their sight. Like, they seen these giants and were like, heck, no, we can't take this land, even though God has told us to take it. And Caleb and Joshua were like, no, He's with us. So we can do it, But when all of that stuff happened, it made them walk around the wilderness for 40 years. You know what I'm saying? We can really miss out on opportunities that the Lord may have for us. And He doesn't have to do anything for us, So if God is, I want to encourage anybody who watches this video, if God is telling you to go and do something, go and do it. Make sure that you're listening to Him. Have an ear out for the Spirit, because He'll guide you on how to do things, but He will not do everything for us. We have to listen to the Lord, and then once He's given you His, maybe your promises or maybe your direction on what to do, you have to go after the blessings that He has for you. Regardless of what giant obstacles are in the way. And there's going to be obstacles that are in the way, for sure. Because you don't go when something may look a certain way, and you might miss a season of that blessing, and you might have to wait till it come back around. That's if God may even allow it to come back around, if it may even be in His will for Him to do it again, because He has a different will from us as well. The Lord had told me a while ago that He's going to send our blessing to us, but He said if we're not in the right place at that right time, where we need to be, where He needs us to be, He said, I will not send it to you again. I'm praying that this wasn't it, but we have to be in the right places at the right time, and we have to keep moving, and not be timid, and go after what God has promised for us. So I just wanted to make this video to encourage whoever may see the video. I don't know how many people may see it. Whoever may see it, go after what God has for you. Make sure that He's telling you for sure. Don't just up and do anything. I'm not an advocate for that. But if God has made promises to you, if you are following Him in His ways, you have a covenant with Him, with the Lord Jesus, and you followed Him by faith, trust and believe. If He's promised you something, He will hold to that promise. But you have to go after what He's telling you to go after as well. you know. So that was the quick video that the Lord has impressed on me. And I guess that's it. God bless.